Today we discuss with Dr. Parviz my consultation with the quantum machine yesterday and what all that was about, the aura, the 12,000 tests that it did, and how it can do some acupuncture just without needles. And then my experience with ozone and light frequency. The experience all in all was truly amazing, from the consultation to being in the treatment room. And I really urge all of you guys to listen to the full episode. Have a lovely day. Hello, everybody. Today I wanted to do a podcast from the bottom of my heart because I had this amazing experience yesterday. I saw Dr. Parviz for quantum, and he will further tell you about my results. And then he convinced me to do the ozone and frequency, which I actually did at the same time for the sake of saving time. As you know, I'm always busy with patients, but definitely this morning I woke up with a big difference in my energy level and my outlook. Basically, I have realized that it's important for us to keep ourselves and prioritize ourselves, because it's so easy in the day-to-day life to get lost. And so that's my first thing for all of you out there. And I don't want to waste your time more and introduce our dear Dr. Parviz. Thank you for being here this morning with me.
It's my pleasure, of course.
Can you tell us a bit about, and feel free to tell our audience about what you saw in your exam yesterday, and what exactly did this ozone do to me, and the frequency, actually?
Sure, that sounds good. To explain this, I take a step back to first explore a bit about the philosophy of my medicine and then what happened to you yesterday. The way I practice medicine, I see health as a state of balance, not the absence of diseases or absence of symptoms of disease. Balance between different parts of the physical body, balance in our emotional state, balance in our mind, the thoughts, what we believe in, our perception, our memories, past, present, future, our reaction to what is coming tomorrow or what happened to us yesterday. Using a sophisticated quantum device, which is designed to actually pick up signals from the body of the person, I can scan the levels, different levels of a being, a patient, a client, which is the physical body and all the energy system or the information system around them, and to challenge that, to see what signal is more compatible, what is not. It's so simple to understand. So the device works basically similar to an electrocardiogram or an electroencephalogram machine. It's there to pick up signals from you. But because we replace classical mechanic or Newtonian physics, which is the physics of matter, what you can see, you can touch, or you can measure, with quantum mechanics that shows us what is beyond the physical body. Then we can break through the boundaries of space and time, and we look at the body and the energy system at the time, or the memory of the past, or perception about future. So we look at information which is not at the moment in the person, but it's just a reflection of the past memories of the future reactions within that person.
So fascinating.
It is.
Truly.
Without harming, we can check more than almost 12,000 signals. But some people may say, wow, 12,000 tests is too many. How could you do that? The fact is that nature is incredibly sophisticated. For example, at every given second, our body receives, analyzes, and reacts to more than 40 billion bits of information. While you are sitting like this, your body knows how much thyroid hormone you need, how much adrenaline you need, which blood vessels should be constricted, which one should be dilated, which muscle should be relaxed, which muscle should be in action, and billions of other things to keep our body the way it is. And when we stand up, we don't fall.
True.
So taking 12,000 tests from the energy system of the body, which is 40 billion per second, is like We pick up a drop from the ocean of information in you. But that drop contains almost 12,000 reactions measured. So it's good enough to give me an idea. You came yesterday to me with a certain complaint about some occasional skin issue. As I told you, skin eruptions have a lot to do with the level of toxicity in our body. When we talk about toxicity, it doesn't mean only within the physical body. Some of us are in a toxic environment. We have toxic thoughts or beliefs. We live with the toxic person around us, whether it's our spouse, partner, boss, employee, whoever. When the body is under pressure that creates imbalances, it means toxins. At the physical level, it manifests into chemical toxicity and the liver and the blood and everything involved. And when there's too much toxin, skin, which is the largest excreting organ, receives most of it to excrete, and they get stuck, and then eczema and eruptions and itchiness and you name it, they will happen.
Right.
I checked you yesterday. We came up with a lot of amazing ideas, although immediately we saw that you're a healthy person with certain weaknesses. For example, we saw that the organ of stomach and the first part of small intestine, which is called duodenum in you, is not as strong as what it's supposed to be. Stomach is supposed to digest, especially protein, or open up the molecules for making them ready for further digestion. And duodenum is where the body absorbs most of the minerals. If you don't have strong stomach acid, we have difficulties absorbing minerals. So we found out about some other information about you. And then I realized that, okay, the oxygen utilization, the amount of electron or energy of the oxygen inside your cells were not as it is supposed to be. Most of the time, stress is a major cause for that. That's how I realized that ozone will benefit you. And then I offered you a frequency treatment, which is the use of specific energy signals, which is compatible to our body to create better balance. And using the frequency system, which my machines are the invention of Professor Royal Rife, who cured cancer back in 1934 and proved it to the American Medical Association. There's a lot of information about him online. People can check. And we have his technology. Of course, we don't use it for cancer, but we use it for a lot of other things. I can send specific signal to a specific part of the body or the energy system of the body. It means the emotion and the mind, to recreate a state of balance without harming you. So using the sound or the light frequencies is like a signal. It's like you grab your remote controller, you want to increase the volume of your TV. First of all, it has to be compatible. Then you have to know which button to press so the volume will get affected, not to change the channel or change the quality of the picture or the colors or whatever
or the subtitles.
So this is very sophisticated. There is absolutely no harm in using frequency machines. So I decided to put you on certain different groups of frequency. One, to cause a psychological relaxation. One, to create a general balance. And one, to stimulate your stomach, organ of stomach function. And then I offered you a specially designed nutritional supplement that is a part of my supplements that I use for the last 20 years. These are quantum-based. They are not only made from the highest quality ingredients you could ever find in this market, but also they're carriers of frequency. So they carry quantum frequency. It means the moment you take them, they will affect the body and the energy system of the body, including emotion and the mind. These are magnetic field beyond the matter.
Beautiful.
So we change them. You go to a party for the first time, they don't know you. Imagine this is a big party, nobody knows who others are. You ring the bell, the people open the door. Without saying anything, they look at you with a smile on their face. They leave the door open and they go inside. Or they look at you with a frown on their face. The same way, without single word being exchanged. They leave the door open, go inside. You are going to have a totally different body, emotion, and mind reaction in those two scenarios. A signal that you receive from the person will allow you to open up and go in and sit down and eat and enjoy the music and make friends and have a great night, or exactly the opposite, suddenly giving you an impression that, that frown means
I don't belong here.
Then you lose your appetite, your blood pressure goes up, your heart starts to race, your mouth becomes dry. Even the sweat on your skin will have a completely different composition. It's easy to understand. So Again, this is the philosophy of my medicine. I look for the causes of imbalances. And if, for example, there are microbes, I've learned not to attack the microbes because they're smart. Nature is smart. They react, they hide, they change their face, especially if they're under attack frequently. All we need to do is to change the environment. The way people create physical environments, so the pH, what to eat, how to deal with stress, the mental stress, the emotional or the other levels of stress. So we create balance, then the source of the problem will disappear very easily. So you had a quantum assessment, which at the same time I balance your energy as much as possible. So
You said you gave me some acupuncture.
With the machine,
because
without
I
putting
myself,
the needle.
as everyone knows, is very fearful of needles. This is why I really understand my patients. And you were able to give that to me just with the
Because
machine.
with that, I can, we don't call it a treatment, but I can realign the information at the quantum level on the tissue or the body of the person. The way that we see aura and chakra, we analyze them. If I see blockages in any part, I can send energy signal to reopen it. It's like mathematical
Correct.
skill. There's a border, there's a vector. You need to eliminate that. You create another pulse of mathematic energy, let's say, with the opposite direction, but exactly the same thing. So they neutralize each other. That's how it works. That's how we can zap, let's say, a microbe. That's how we can stimulate a body or organ function or sedate it at the same time, because we want to keep the balance. And then I put you on ozone therapy to increase the storable energy in your body. Because imagine, our body has to keep our system warm, 37 degrees at all time, yeah? So everything we eat should turn into heat. But also we need energy to repair, to grow, to support us in different ways. For that, the body has to be able to keep the energy in a stored form. There's a compound in our body, in the cells, called ATP, adenosine 3-phosphate, which is the result of function of an organelle in our cell called mitochondria. So there, the electron of oxygen is separated and is kept in that ATP compound. So anytime the body needs to repair, it breaks one of these phosphate groups and then energy is released. The more ATP is stored in our cell, the younger we are. Because aging is a result of faster errors in our body, which body cannot keep up with correcting them. So that means I need money in my account to pay for my costs. I need stored energy. I need ATP. Yeah, exercise will increase ATP. Relaxation will increase the number of mitochondria. So therefore, ATP is produced. Aging will reduce that. Ozone will increase ATP. So we give ozone therapy to people before and after surgery. The rate of improvement or healing in them becomes remarkable. Most of the time, the surgeons make a huge comment that, wow, what are you doing to the patient? You're 2 weeks ahead of healing because of that.
And so in dentistry, that can definitely be
100%
pertinent, especially after wisdom removals. We know for lower wisdom, sometimes we get dry sockets.
Absolutely.
And I believe that if we do ozone therapy after having wisdom extractions, that would really help.
Not only it will...
And the healing as well.
Exactly. Not only it helps them heal faster, but also oxygen is disinfectant. It cleans up the system even better. Yeah, you have to get rid of the microbes which are hiding. And most of the time, many of them or some of them do not respond to the antibiotic.
Or after getting implants, because that's a surgery.
Absolutely.
You know, sinus lifts. Yeah, I mean, that I'm just bringing it into people's attention and light as to, you know, how it helps them do with what we do day in, day out. But of course, I mean, it's, you know, something about yesterday. Well, luckily, I was fortunate, but it's also really good when we see you, Dr. Parviz, because sometimes, you know, we all have thoughts. And when I sat in your room for the consultation, you reassured me that I'm amazing. And that itself, I think, is what sometimes we need to hear. And thankfully, my examination from, you know, what you were showing me, yes, it was 1,200 different tests you did, yeah?
12,000.
12,000. And as we looked at it, all in all, it was brilliant. There was just, you know, few, and it's my magnesium, but I take the magnesium, and then we discussed which type of magnesium.
And you need potassium as well.
And potassium was for me.
I'm going to recommend you that blue salt. You have to order some blue salt.
The blue salt, you told me that now you have found that it's
yes.
even more amazing than the pink Himalayan.
Yeah.
But as a general, you would agree that everything was great. And hopefully my skin issue that was on my hand is from my latex gloves, which I am now using non-latex. I'm not really happy about it. It's a bit more slippery. But it was really fascinating to see my aura. So if you can give us a little insight about what was it I was looking at and what is that? And then you said it's giving me a message.
Yes.
That just really gave me goosebumps.
Yeah.
If you can further tell us about that.
You see, the aura and the chakras are the energy field right outside of our physical body. And they are related to the area that we experience emotion. So these chakras, which are points of energy, is like a whirlpool of energy. They take the frequency of that specific emotion, and through certain points, it enters that into the body and everything gets affected. For example, we have throat chakra here. When people cannot express their true feeling and emotion, it gets blocked. And thyroid gland is right there. And thyroid is the gland of metabolism, not necessarily the food we eat. Things in our life. Sometimes we can metabolize certain behavior, so it affects us. When the chakra is blocked, it affects the organ system there, and then the body goes through a certain different reaction. So I look at the chakra balance, I look at the aura, the energy system around. With you yesterday, I didn't find any blockage in your aura. In fact, you were shining. You had a huge aura with combination colors of green and yellow. So this means surrounded by unconditional love. You know that the nature of the creation is based on unconditional love. And we proved this scientifically with quantum systems. So the space contains enormous vibrations related to love, because anger has a different vibration, fear is different, resentment is different, frustration is different. They have different color, like different piano sounds. Yeah, we saw that combination of unconditional love surrounding you, freely circulating within you, an incredible amount of power. So that told me that this beautiful lady should not be worried about future, because her path to future is open. If she starts trusting her power, her intuitive power, and the power that she has gained based on her work, based on her life experience, being a mother of two, being a wife, being a member of the society, being somebody who is presenting herself among others. So altogether shows that your path to future is open. It's like before, according to your energy system, it showed that if there is any problem, you could easily find a solution for that. So that should give you a bit of a more confidence that, hey, I am safe, I'm okay. You see, this will change your feeling immediately, your emotion and your belief, self-belief.
Correct.
This is the beginning of a quantum leap. So you disappear here and appear at higher level of vibration. That's how you develop, you grow. Anyways, the goal of the creation is to go through the journey of life based on the experience, to learn to become better, not to gain more money, not to be able to buy more expensive cars, but to understand the truth about the creation and what is our role within this amazing creation of life, with evidence of magnificent consciousness in everything.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And this is basically, I want to wind down and say, this is what I want for everyone to experience, is that what I experienced yesterday. I mean, the end result, obviously, after doing the ozone and the frequency was amazing. But I think the journey started for me actually when I was in your room and how I felt after leaving your room. So if there's any recommendation I can give you guys today, is to definitely get a consultation with Dr. Parviz Rashvand, and let him just see you. You guys can first just come for, as I say, a chit chat, and then you'll book your appointment and hopefully go through the journey I did. Thank you so much for
It's a pleasure
coming in today and speaking to me and our audience about this.
Absolutely.
And looking forward to more talks about how we relate, naturopathy and dentistry in our future podcasts.
Before I finish, I'm just going to mention one more point for our audience to know, is that my checkups could be applied to anybody. People don't have to be sick. There is always room for improvement, because my goal is not to treat diseases. I don't focus on that. It's about improving the quality of health. So this is totally different.
100%.
So even if people are having symptoms of a disease or sickness, when their health is improved, the symptoms of disease should be reduced. The same way.
Absolutely.
So I can apply it to babies, infants, pregnant mothers, elderly. It doesn't matter who. Sometimes I could even help some animals, dogs, cats. There are people who are trained to use this technology on horses, for example, so that they can create a better and more balanced energy system around them for better performance. There's absolutely no harm in that. And like the nutritional supplements that you tried it last night, which is designed not only to affect your body, but also the energy system to better balance everything.
Correct.
We can improve the quality of life of the people to as much as possible. When they comply with the information, that is the key. The improvements are probably very reliable.
Correct.
So it depends on how people care or become responsible for their own health. I'm just a teacher. I show them, I guide them. The rest is with them. I support them as much as they want to, but I cannot push them.
Just like I said from the beginning, it's prioritizing yourselves. And this is what I can tell you guys is prioritize yourself. And like you said, you don't have to have a specific disease to come see Dr. Parviz, just to improve that mindset. And that goes a long way. And believe me, when you see that aura is amazing, you just, you own it. And if it isn't, there's definitely ways
I clean it up. I look at the imbalances.
To make it amazing.
The day you go out, you're going to go out with a good quality aura.
With an amazing aura.
Absolutely.
That tells it all. Thank you again.
It's a pleasure.
And until next time, thanks for listening.